Hey everyone, it's Ross. Welcome to Season 2, Adventures in the Void Spacecast. This season we're talking about independent and folk science fiction tabletop role-playing games. The following is an actual play of the original Starfaring role-playing game, Classic Traveler, by Mark Miller and Games Designer Workshop. So get your vac suit on, your sidearm ready, and prepare to exit jump space. We've got money to make and worlds to explore, and we hope you'll join us on these adventures. Out here on the Imperial Fringe, it's just us veterans of the Fifth Frontier War keeping the space lanes moving. Free traders like us, still willing to evade the pirates, the terrorists, the zealots, the criminals. They prey on these war-torn ruins of 100 worlds. They call us travelers. We aren't liked, but we're needed. We use our skills we learned in the service to operate starships and earn a buck. We ain't looking for trouble, but it always finds us. When it does, it'll find us ready. Alright, here we go. Rolling a d5. I got a 1. So once again, it's Chapman. It's Alex again. I'm gonna give you 1,000 credits this time. I feel like the dice are loaded.
Easiest 1,000 credits I've ever made. All right. Let's see. My notes say, we were, of course, as we have been for a while now, trailing towards Asteltine from Marion. And it was on our way in that we were hailed by a ship that asked to inspect us, and that's where that session began, was the Sword of Truth is what the vessel was called, and they boarded the cargo bay. They were led by Lucas Kelly, who's the former first mate of the Autumn Gold. I think each of us had encountered them before in each of our own previous journeys. Or at the very least, most of us had. And he told us that the Imperium and the Duke of Deneb were kind of retrenching in their power and influence from the Sprinward marches. And in that power vacuum, Duke Norris of the Iterati system seemed to be taking advantage of things and setting up his own shadow state in the region. Kind of painting a long-term picture of the fate of this particular part of the universe. So he had asked for help in overthrowing Duke Norris. We spent a very long time debating. Ultimately, we more or less just declined. We then headed into Asteltine's Belt, and Lothak actually stopped us and asked us for a crew meeting to address our upcoming plans, our mission with the Kefirkanok Vargar shipping line. So we were intending that we were going to do some work with them, mostly just for the purpose of getting closer to them to see if there was any kind of connection we could divine between them and that local terrorist group, per the request of the scout services back on Flammarion. And she said, hey, I think that the Kefirkanok are going to kill you guys if you don't do this carefully. So we decided that we need to do our best to play by Vargar rules. We made the Kefirkanok guys come meet us at our ship. We showed off our collection of dead Vargar to intimidate them. And we tried pretty much just pushing them into making a deal with us over our arms sale, instead of having to actually talk about any of the history that we had in the past with them or that Vargar terrorist group. It more or less worked, although I'm pretty sure they were able to tell that we totally were like enemies of that terrorist group because of our history on Walston. And then, of course, at Asteltine, Most of our low passengers lived. We checked for cargo and passengers as always, and I don't believe there were any, so I don't think there's any more business we had to do there before just heading out for Bowman.
Yeah. On the matter of the Varger meeting, suffice it to say, it seems like it went pretty badly wrong. I mean, at the very least, you didn't like get in trouble with the law and end up with like a total shootout on the ramp with a bunch of dead citizens or something. But there was like a
Our
sword
main
fight.
priority was selling guns, and we did that.
And you did, and you took a big loss. It seemed to me to go. It didn't. It was a sad outcome, generally speaking. It seemed like it wasn't the inroad with the Varger just didn't seem to work out. They kind of promised you, like, hey, don't come around the conclave. And I do want to clarify one thing. They had actually asked. It was not apparent to them at all what your relationship was with the terrorists. However, it did seem as if they knew what these other Varger were, and it seemed like they didn't have some sort of positive relationship with them. That is something that sort of played out, and I'll point back to. But yeah, the Varger deal took a loss, and then all said and done, with the lack of cargo and passengers, you find yourself on the way to Bowman, and you had to take your own personal money. So far, none of the crew have been paid in however many months of freelancing. There's been no payout. And the group pool used to cover mortgages and ship costs has gone to zero. So that's where we're starting tonight. Grim, and then at the beginning of the session, this contact you had that was dragged away by Imperial Marines was like, yeah, everything's going to crap. So grim tidings all around, and I think you were literally just breaking dock from Asteltine. Do I have that right? I think that's where we left.
Yeah.
Where's all your
I
all's
think
tokens?
that's where it was.
Oh, I still have you all in the bay with the Varger. Oh no. Let's get rid of that. And bring you all back to the cockpit, to the bridge. Alright. Chapman's the pilot. Shipley is the navigator. Klaus sits in a captain's chair. The rest sit in jump seats in the back. And then you got sensors and comms with books. And Doc Ocean, we will also give him a jump seat. So. And then, where's Marcello? Oh, no, actually. Put your token back on there. I don't know where your token is. Let's see. And Marcello is, what does the ship say? Marcello is the engineer.
Yeah.
So I'll just kind of put you over here. Now, we'll say that you have like a chair near the front sensor maintenance access way. There we go. That all kind of makes sense. All right. So you depart Asteltine, start heading out of the system. Let me take a look at Asteltine. So as usual, Shipley, if you could make your navigation check in secret. Don't tell us what it is yet. And then Marcello, if you could make your engineer check in the open, see how the engines are running, and take it back out to the dark.
Russ, can you see the roll I just made?
It looks like it didn't roll it. It looks like it just did 2d6.
I don't know what I'm doing.
There's a dice function in the chat on the bottom. You just click on the d6 twice and then roll. Or you've got it on the bottom left. Or it's /roll space 2d6. Oh, I did see it. I think
Okay.
that is... I think
That's
we
a
said
public roll, right?
Private roll.
Yeah.
Looks like.
It looks like it went to the GM because I do see it. Are you
Okay, well, if nobody else can see, I can see it. I just want to make sure that nobody else can see it if it's supposed to be private.
Yeah,
I
it
can
worked.
see it.
Okay.
All right. See here. There we go. Astaltine is an A. So, you start departing Astaltine. You get out about... It only takes you to get a safe jump distance in Astaltine. There's this large asteroid, and Astaltine is known for its asteroids, especially its metallic asteroids. They mine for metal here in the asteroid belt, and that's how they really have all the indie traffic that they have. The advantage to that is you're not near a prime world and a large gravity well, so you are able to jump in just 2 hours at thrust 1 at 1G. So you make it out to a safe jump distance in an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 13 minutes, or 2 hours and 13 minutes. And how are the engines?
Well, I rolled a 6 plus engineering of 1. It's 7.
A 7. There's
Yeah.
there's an indication that there's a disparity because you have these two main drives in the back, okay, and the main indication of health is going to be if they have parity, if they're kind of running at the same. And the maneuver drives have a disparity between them. It shouldn't be a problem unless it becomes a problem.
Does their ship like drift to the left slowly? Like, do I gotta compensate for that?
Yeah. You notice in the automated flight control system there is an asymmetric thrust in the maneuver drive.
Keep monitoring it.
Okay. And with that, you enter jump space. Everything kind of like peels off around outside of the from what you can view, and you're in your own little pocket universe and jump. And you got probably about a week. As always, is there anything that anybody needs to accomplish in that week of time?
Hit the books as always. Not my teammate, that is. I'm studying.
Please don't hit me.
Did books pass that check?
Which check?
The back when we did the check to see if you all could roll new skills, and there was like
Nobody passed.
Nobody passed,
It
but
wasn't.
I thought Books was one of the ones studying, but
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
myself, Books, and Shipley, we're just like
Yeah,
we
we're
met
studying.
the requirements to be able to increase our knowledge.
okay. So you guys are keeping a track of it because at a certain time, 52 weeks or whatever it is, you have like a roll you're gonna make or something, right? And that determines if you, yeah. So okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And you also pay every week. Like you cash out whatever it is, 100, 200 credits or 150 credits or something.
So you can mark me down for another 100 credits down. Because I'm going to do 2 sessions per the usual.
Same.
Same.
Okay. Shipley, Hooks, and Chapman. All right. Are there any other things anybody needs to do while they're in jump? You just got, I can't remember if we said you have some passengers and cargo. I think the answer is no. I think you have no passengers and no cargo, if I recall correctly.
There was nothing available.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, well, you know what? To be perfectly honest, I think we skipped a step there.
Actually, no, you have 3 mid and 1 low. Astaltina 567908.
Oh. Well, that'll pay for gas anyway. But I'm hoping for some luck.
Okay. All right. If nobody has anything else they want to try to do during the jump, about 168 hours or so pass, and you guys return to your stations, get your vac suits on, get everything suited and sealed up in case anything happens, and you make the exit from Jump Chapman. And like all of a sudden, space like peels back in around you, and the stars reassemble. And it looks like Shipley got a 6 on the navigation check. Did I get that right?
Let me pull up my character sheet real quick.
No, I mean like on your roll. I think or 4. Yeah. So what?
A 4, yeah. I was gonna double check my bonuses because I did not roll a 6. I think I navigated us into an asteroid. Very low odds if you think about it.
The worst part is that you make the roll at the beginning of the jump, and you have to spend the next week knowing how bad it was. You keep it secret for the rest of us.
This is strange. Maybe the map is different or something. I don't know. Oh, weird. Okay. Yeah, so here you are. And it's a +1 is a 5, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you arrive in the Bowman system. You exit jump space.
No, it should be 56798.
Or sorry, 567908. And what do you do as soon as you arrive?
Well,
The standard operating procedure.
All right.
well, the first thing we do is scan.
Okay. Scan. Okay.
Yeah, and also we should be. So here's the question: 0 population. You know, if I remember, it was just like a skeleton crew, like little research facility down there.
That's right.
They're very unlikely to have anything. I suppose we could check for passengers. They're going to have unrefined fuel. But really, we should be planning on, setting down and taking off, is my opinion. We don't want to waste any time.
Fine by me. I'm not allowed off the ship here anyway.
You're not welcome in 567908 anymore.
I mean, I'll look for a cargo just because why not look? But
I can't find my solar system map of 567908, but the main thing to know is that it is, so you initiate a scan as soon as you come into system, and there is 7 different worlds. Oh, I have it right here. Here's the solar system. See where you come in at. The roll of 5. You arrive at a roll of 5, 40 hours away from the prime world, which is just a dust ball. And it has a it's another binary star system, and you can see like really far away, you know, about 3 billion kilometers away in the scan. You can tell that there's another star that's part of the binary star system, and then you are in the one where there is 567908, which is the third planet. It exists in kind of the terrestrial zone of the K5 star, and you essentially appear like 40 hours out from 567908 toward the second star, toward the white dwarf star, and away from all the other planets. All the other planets here are terrestrial. One of them has a large planetary belt. There are no gas giants. So that's what you get on your scan.
48 hours. I give Shipley a look like, what? Were you afraid to get too close?
There's a lot of rocks in here, okay? Yes, they're several thousand miles apart.
Well, best speed to that spaceport.
All right.
Or the landing pad or whatever.
All right. For the next 2 days, you encounter nothing on the way to 567908, and then you come in for a landing. It is uncontrolled. No one contacts you as you land. It has a single pad with some silos and towers. You can see that there are guards here, and there are weapons trained on the pad in the skies and the ground nearby. There's one massive super lake, and then just some mountains off in the distance, and then just like dust and a very thin atmosphere. That's essentially not breathable on its own. You would need your rebreather. And you come into land, and a few guards come out and lazily prepare to refuel you and to provide basic services and to make the exchange. One of them has a data pad.
Let's check the boards. Just say a prayer and check the boards.
You just they wait to like greet you. I don't know if you pop open the side cargo door, which the same that the others had come in before when they connected umbilical.
Sure.
You know, or if you just lower the whole the front, or the back cargo, like ostentatiously. I don't know how you do it, but they come up. They have their own rebreather masks on. They look really bored. One of them has a data pad and is like, "Who goes out to greet him? Who's going to do the that kind of work?"
I designate Marcello. I nominate Marcello.
Yeah, he knows a guy here.
Yeah, exactly. Go share a smoke with your buddy.
And see if any of them want off this rock. Because, well, if they pay.
All right.
All right. So I amble down the ramp toward this guy. Hello.
All right, you got your rebreather on. You seal the door behind you. Okay. He looks at you and he says, you know, "Hey, traveler, how much fuel you want?"
Enough to fill us up, please.
Okay, for an A1, no problem. Standard rate. And he taps some things on his pad, and they take some stuff out. It looks like it's a below ground hydrogen storage, and they connect it up to the ship. Probably Chapman has to actually enable the valve to receive from outside and check it and everything. Probably, well, since you're not on the ship as engineer, probably Books would, check to ensure that the fuel quality and everything about it is correct. You also entered an atmosphere, so you probably want to make sure that there's not some huge difference in pressurization and temperature or something like that too. So anyways, you go through all this kind of boring stuff, and they check all that off, and they don't bring up cargo or passengers. We're aboard of any kind.
What's that?
They don't bring up cargo,
mention it?
or they don't bring it up. There doesn't seem to be a board or anything. They just kind of, in a very bored fashion, start to work to refuel your ship.
Okay.
Make sure to ask them if they got anybody or anything going or coming.
Yeah.
And don't forget to use the secret handshake. All right.
Doesn't look like the busiest starport here, but surely you've got a board up for jobs and stuff.
One of them laughs, and this causes the other one to kind of wake up. And he says, "We actually do kind of have a starport. It's really funny. We've got like a vending machine in there, and a place to sit, and a place for like a waiting area for like a passenger terminal." And then he looks back at you, and he's like, "Oh wait, you're serious?" "No, Oh, we don't have any. No. This is just this is a research outpost. But I get the confusion, I guess, if you haven't been through here before. They just we're an Imperial starport. Technically, we have to sell fuel and do basic customs. We own the facility. Technically, the Imperium doesn't own the planet, so it's we fuel ships that come through here, but."
So this is basically a rest stop, gas station, rest stop.
I don't know, the eggheads on this planet. They do some kind of work out here. Takuri Lines company. They hire us. We're a private security. So, but yeah, no.
Gotcha.
If you're a free trader, I'm not. We just offer fuel. We don't have a. I wasn't kidding. We actually do have a passenger terminal. It's kind of funny to me. They use it as like a conference room now. They usually clear the chairs out.
Oh boy. All right. Thanks. I'll be back with you in a minute. Switch channels to the ship channel. Hey everyone. It doesn't look like there are job boards here. The place is just a basically a fueling station, fueling and customs station. Not really. It's a place trade is done. I know that's not what you wanted to hear, Captain, but
That's kind of what I expected. Still, we can offload our passengers.
It just
They're
feels
heading
cool.
here. Are the passengers heading here?
If we picked them up,
Yes.
they should be heading where we were going. Yeah.
Yeah, it may be that and it's funny because like this passenger terminal is going to get used, but it's sort of a Banana Republic kind of terminal, passenger terminal. They'll go in and wait for a ship to take them out, and that's it. As far as medium passage, now you have one low passage, I believe. So, anyone want to take bets on their survival? It's either die or live. Those are the only options on this one.
I say live.
I'll say live too. I'm an optimist.
It'll get split. 40. It'll be a total of 50 credits, and it'll get split. Whoever wins and loses.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll go for live.
Okay, I'll go for die.
All right.
I'll pass.
Okay, the doc is gonna. He looks up for a minute and he's like, "Well, so I die. I could lose 10 credits." And let's see. Okay, I think that passes. He got an 8. So let's see. That means that of 50 credits, Books, Shipley, and Bellamy get 17 credits.
All right.
Nice.
Damn it, I never come out ahead on these.
He wakes up and he's, sick, vomiting, and, the doctor's like starting an IV line, clearing him, putting in an airway through the nose, clearing everything out of the... It looks like an emergency, but this is actually just what it looks like every time someone comes out of cold sleep. Anyways, they disembark.
Well, that's 25,000 credits right there.
For 3 medium and 1 low?
Yeah.
Let me make sure I've got 3 mid, 1 low. Okay. So I'll just add that later. Now, anything else you want to do on 567-908 in this bustling metropolis?
No, but not no, but hell no.
All right. Okay.
Stop me if I'm wrong, anybody. I don't know if anybody had any other ideas about walking in the
If someone
desert
wants
or
to go
anything.
check out what's in that vending machine for me, I might appreciate it, but otherwise, no.
I'll go have a look in the vending machine for the poor guy.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
He said,
You got
"What
astronaut
could
ice
go
cream.
wrong?" Yeah.
Yeah, the first thing is doing a encounter roll. 5 plus 1 per hour. You do not encounter anything.
I'll get him a candy bar.
I'll describe the candy bars.
Do they have pork rinds?
I hope the doctor is prepared.
Do they have armadillo pork rinds?
Yeah, if I had any sense, I wouldn't trust the space gas station food. But
It's all processed quite competently.
You're sure that's the case? Although whether that it could be said that's actually still good for you or not, no one. It'll probably pickle your insides, but it's not gonna. It is sanitary. And anyways, vending machine. It's one of those things where no one has operated it in a long time. This is clearly not what the inhabitants eat. And most of it is gone. There are 6 rows of items in the vending machine that are still there. You asked if anything looks like pork rinds. You probably don't know what pork is, but let me see.
Something salty with high fat content.
that's actually what it says on the packaging. That's like the flavor it's listed. Something
There's,
salty with high
there's
fat
weird
content.
there's weird truth in advertising rules on this.
So there are 6 items. I can tell you what they are, but you spot one. So I don't know if you're looking for something like a rind from a fatty animal. As a matter of fact, and I'm not. I rolled this right here. I didn't make it up. In fact, that there is absolutely that. And now it comes in a large, lightweight canister, like a big pill, like this big. And inside of it, and you can see in a little window that there is some kind of, and I like how, like, I don't know if you all have been to East Asia, but like the food, they like to show how they've tormented and slain the innocent animals on the front of the food. So it has like this cute picture of like, this like happy-go-lucky this mix between a snake and a, because it curls, and a, I don't know what to call. What are pigs as a broader species? What are they? Or not species?
Swine.
Is it swine? Yeah, it looks like a cross between that because it curves and it's like kind of like happy-go-lucky, and it's on the cover of it. and inside you can see how their chunks of fat are curly, just like they are. And there's a bunch of curly, waxy, noodly things that are covered in like an oily kind of substance. That's the best you can tell from the outside.
Cool. How many credits?
Just 1 credit.
Nice. I'll take 10.
Oh, minus 10 credits for 10 canisters.
Does that clean it out? I mean, I don't know. Have I seen these things before?
Yeah, you buy all of them. No, you haven't seen them before. You
All
get
right,
10 cans of Gork. I'm excited. Are you gonna try one out?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You pop open a canister, and it just
I can almost taste it now.
Yes, the smell just wafts out of the canister, and
glorious.
it's a good smell. That's what I was excited to say. It has a hint of lemon. And just a slightly fermented beef. And when I say fermented, I mean like a salted pork, but with like a zest.
Just a little bit of that kimchi edge to it.
It is like that. It's kind of like how you have that savory, meaty taste, offset with like a pepper and a sweet taste to it. Yes.
Oh, who makes these things?
Is it McClellan? The brand? It's definitely McClellan. It's absolutely McClellan.
All right.
We gotta get one. This is what low-fat is needed in our diet.
Yes, I bet it is. It might be a little too oily, actually, but I don't know.
It tastes like a mix between like lo mein and like a I'm trying to think. The texture, is somewhere between the consistency of beef jerky, but with the pliability of lo mein. But it does have that kind of savory, sweet taste of like a Thai kind of thing.
Wow, it's like perfect.
It's good.
That's perfect. Yeah. I shed a tear. And
perfection.
and I stop while I'm ahead, having bought 10 of these things. I'm ready to be praised when I get back on the ship. This is a find.
All right.
You get back on board and I'm like, it didn't have canned air. Come on.
We just wait, my friend. Just wait. I'll hand him a pristine,
nice.
still unpopped can. See for yourself.
I'm impressed. It tastes remarkably like beetle pig.
Yeah, beetle pig. Yeah.
We ever learn what the names of those that critter is called?
It was mentioned what they were called. They were called Griggs. That's what it was.
Griggs. We got Gork. We got Gork, and we got Griggs. Gork doesn't come from Griggs, though, I guess.
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Beautiful.
Any other business?
I can't.
Okay. Here we go. Taking off. You take back off from 567908. Uh-oh.
We're calculating. I would have liked to have calculated. I didn't mention it. Does it matter that I didn't mention it? It didn't happen?
I'll give 2 options in the classical style of gaming. Either you must mention it, or you must establish an SOP in advance. And if you tell me an SOP, then I will always do it unless you say, we're going to do what we usually do, except I do this time. So that's... But otherwise, no. You must tell me if you're going to do stuff. Like, I assume, for example, right now, that you always, because I did ask, you were always in your vac suit, you're always armed, and everyone is always at their station whenever you're either leaving a planet, arriving at a planet, about to jump, or leaving jump.
Yeah. So, all right. And somebody stop me if you disagree with this. I think from now on, SOP, when we come out of jump space, for the computer will be auto evade and generate, which will take up our computer's whole processing space. If we get attacked, we can switch out generate for maneuver. but we'll keep generate in for as long as it takes to generate a flight plan. And we should just have that ready to go, I feel like. I mean,
Yeah.
Sounds good.
It takes one about 6.5 minute round where they can fire at you while you generate the flight plan.
well, you keep auto evade in.
Yeah, absolutely. And then as far as maneuver, it'll take another round to load
Yeah.
it, and then you'll have maneuver. But then you'll have the flight plan, and I'll say you can jump at that point. Essentially, you can.
Well,
do
we
it as
wouldn't
soon
be
as it's
able to-
available.
We wouldn't be able to jump. I mean, what do you guys think? Should we do the generate on our way up from the spaceport instead? Because we can't actually jump until we refuel, so it's sort of.
Maybe to state the obvious, from my point of view, maneuver does not include like literally just flying the ship. Like you can point the ship on a vector and it'll fly without maneuver, is my thought. But maneuver means that you're able to like maneuver in case you need to for some reason.
I would have a look at the rules on that, because the game differentiates between auto evade and maneuver evade, which are all different programs from the program that is called
Sorry,
maneuver.
and yes, in addition, I don't mean to conflate that with evading, but
Okay.
just to say the ship does not suddenly become entirely unflyable without maneuver. That would be nonsensical to me.
And I didn't think that it would, which is why I was saying we could do without maneuver.
Right.
While all we're doing is essentially flying in mostly a straight line towards the spaceport. But
Right.
I couldn't just because I can't think of a better thing to have unless we have passengers, which I'm remembering actually. Never mind.
I trust your
SOP.
judgment, Captain.
Okay, yes, okay. Passenger SOP, which is just going to be SOP all the time, because in case we forget that we have passengers.
You're
Needs to
gonna start
be-
with,
It needs to be auto evade, anti hijack, and maneuver. That's going to be SOP when we come out of jump.
Okay. And then do me a favor, and just I'll always assume you have those 3 software when you come out of jump. And is that also what you're going to do as you're leaving the planet?
We have to generate we can generate the flight plan while we're landed.
That's true. Yeah, and
So
I would also note that maneuver, to me, and if you haven't noticed, in one round, I believe you can re-enter an atmosphere, in my opinion. Now, some would say that's not realistic or whatever, but I'm going to say that. Basically, if you can make it to atmosphere, you can enter it and hit the turf and around. So that's always an option if you can get there. So, okay. So,
Okay.
and then planet is auto evade, anti-hijack, and maneuver. It'd be the same, right?
leaving the planet, yeah.
Okay.
And then when we have, we'd have to put navigation in at some point. Navigation can take the plate, like, navigation has to be in.
You want to just do it right before you get to safe jump distance?
Yeah, navigation and
Okay.
jump 1 have
The
to be in.
You guys have to remember, though, right? Because if you get in a pickle and you're like, well, why don't we jump? We generated our flight plan. I'll be like, well, you gotta take a round and put in navigation.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And jump. Jump 1.
all right. So you start heading out from 567-908. And let me take a quick look at some things.
And we have no passengers, which means we can have navigate in there now, which should allow Shipley to luxury of
It takes the usual 5 hours to get to a safe jump distance, and you encounter nothing at all along the way. This place is dead. And so you swap it out. It takes about 6 minutes to swap the software out before you get to the safe jump distance, and you have it ready so that you're ready to punch it. Before you do, let's see how the engines are doing. Oh my. Okay.
Not so good.
Yeah, there's something about the engine health. Now, again, it's not going to matter until it matters. I also assume like a routine level of maintenance, so this isn't some kind of... I'm not generating a plot thread from this. This is only... You can assume, if we can get to Bowman and land at a starport, it'll be okay, right? But like if something happens, that could inform something, but it'll only matter if it matters. And let's see.
I think it's going to happen.
What do you tell them?
We'll get to Bowman. We'll fix this. We'll get it in the garage. Everything will be fine.
I don't know if anybody looks over at Marcello's multifunction screen, his big CRT, but you can see like the lines of power disparity, and one of them is like spiking and going beep 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 beep, beep. And then the other one's like lower and like really kind of like stable, but then the other one's like this.
I can tell you what Bellamy's going to be doing for most of the week.
Looking at the engine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Marcello's job. You want him to do that.
Well, I got nothing else to do.
I guess everybody can look at it.
I'll take a few pot shots at the target, at the virtual target before getting bored, and go over and just be like, whatever, I'm a good enough shot.
What'd you say, Chapman? That's funny.
The whole time it's like lopsided the whole
Yeah.
week, so everybody's like leaning the entire week.
Yes, including in jump. It affects the gravimetric slightly.
Yeah.
It is a gravity-based drive, right? It's like it's all grav
by the end of
technology.
the week, you're like rubbing your neck, like what is going on?
Lower
I'll
back
spend
pain.
another 100 credits on 2 more lessons.
And Shipley, if you could roll your nav check, please.
Oh boy. Okay.
Pretty good.
Feel a lot
Okay.
better.
So, I assume
The new
nobody...
software is really helping.
Nice, yeah.
We just need to uninstall and reinstall it.
Turn it off and back on again. It's got one of those big switches, like
Yeah.
a big TRS-80 or something. Makes loud whirring noises when it's running. Okay. Yeah, an 8. So, let's see here. You arrive in the Bowman system after about 166 hours in jump. Let's see here. So you were at 124. No. Yes. You were at 117. So you're now at 145. Day 145 of 11/14. And I think... $145 of 11/15. You are 1 day from your bills coming due, and then you will be skipping. And so, you'll arrive in Bowman. I have your software package. What do you do when you arrive in system?
Scan is the first thing, and then we need to make contact with Captain Bjorvi or whatever the heck is... No, Thorgelson.
Yeah.
Thorgelson, I think.
So for Shipley, I have something this time. I actually have like what you would see on your screen from a 2D display of the Bowman system. And you appear... Let me make sure I have this right. Now, this doesn't sound as good as it is, and I'll tell you why. But you arrive just outside the inner ring, 17 hours from Bowman Prime. That maybe doesn't sound super great because usually for a small body you want to arrive just like a couple hours out. But in this case, the Bowman system is a massive series of asteroid belts. There are two major asteroid belts. There is a large planetary belt, and then two massive Trojan clusters, or a Trojan and a Greek cluster in Bowman Prime. So this would be especially hazardous if you were to jump close to Bowman Prime, essentially. There are basically millions of planetoids in the solar system. And while they're far apart, you're jumping very large distances. So you arrive right here about 17 hours out from Bowman Prime. Now, you have a... you don't get a 3D coordinate. You get a a bunch of stuff that you have to work on your own. An orbital period plus a date and a rate, essentially, for a buoy that you're supposed to intercept.
So I have to calculate the position based off that information.
Yeah, you think that the buoy is located about 10 hours away from Epsilon. And so you do a scan of the system and you can see these massive, larger asteroids. And you have the UPP information that you would have collected because you have... because you have generate. Because you have generate, you would have the UPP. So anyways, it would be 10 hours away from, and you don't have to do math. This is just, I mean, you can if you want. You could do a squared plus b squared equals c squared or whatever, or I don't know, and figure out, and then plus the acceleration and everything. But Epsilon is currently about halfway in its orbital cycle from Bowman Prime, and this buoy is about 10 hours out from Epsilon. So you probably have to go about 15 hours out of system to get to the buoy.
Remind me, there wasn't anything else we had to actually do in Bowman other than get this gun, correct?
That's right. And they did say that it would take at least a couple of weeks to bolt the gun on.
Okay, well, let's hope our friend has some work for us.
Okay, so what next? And I mean, you know, hey, not just the captain. What do you all think? Tell me. I mean, you just entered a asteroid belt. You know that you're supposed to go to this buoy. The buoy, you hope, will either be the location of this chop shop or it will give you the location of the chop shop. But that's what you were given. You were given directions of linking up with this buoy.
Okay, and so can you repeat how far away we are from the buoy exactly?
You're probably 15 hours at 1G.
Okay. 15 hours. I mean, I say we just keep on making our way there.
Okay. All right.
I'm wondering what it is that we spend all of our free time doing. Not even just during situations like this, but like.
It's very much one of those like.
To binge.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those like 90% of the time extreme boredom and 10% of the time terrifying, life-threatening stuff.
Books is writing a play
Ooh,
in his spare time.
nice. What's the title of the play?
He doesn't have a title yet. He doesn't like to, pick a title until it's complete. It's like a superstition thing.
Yeah.
He's about 75% done.
Is it about the epic saga of the war between all of the space Vikings?
That's in there. Yeah, all of it. It's about all of it.
Man, what's that
Zeke
big
Zepplin's
German epic
Magnum Opus.
called? Like the big German epic. I can't remember what it's
The
called.
Wagner one, The Rings of the Nibelung.
Beowulf.
like Books is over here making that for like, this point in history and space in the year
He has like
5500.
extremely or like sophisticated, ridiculous, high production value choreography and props and stuff. Like he's making an Andrew Lloyd Webber production, except he's like gonna be on our ship and in the cargo bay.
Yeah. I'll point some obvious things out. Maybe I don't, as I mentioned in chat, I'm like not savvy with actual space stuff. So forgive me if I get some things wrong. And also forgive me if this, I don't know if you find any of this interesting, but this maybe you'll be able to use this if something happens. But 15 hours pass and you don't encounter anything. There are two things here. Primarily, this is actually what you're seeing here on this chart is actually just this little inner area of Bowman Prime. And then the main portions of the asteroid, you have the sun itself, which is a smaller red star, about half the size of our sun. And then you have a gas giant. That the gas giant is closer to the sun than Jupiter would be in this case, and that is the only body. And then around the gas giant is a planetary belt, and then you have like a massive asteroid belt around the whole system. And that whole thing mostly is just these concentric circles here, which you'll see here. So you have the Bowman solar system and Bowman Prime, and then you have three zones. The nickel-cadmium zone, the N zone, and that's where people mine predictably metal asteroids. Sometimes the metal will also contain, or sometimes these harder asteroids will also contain really valuable materials like radioactives, but it's more rare. An important thing to note is because of Bowman Prime's relationship to the sun, the exposure to radiation, even momentarily, if anything occurs, is utterly fatal. If you get exposed when you're in the Bowman system to radiation, you're done if something happens. So like if you get hit and it says, hey, you were, so the M drive generates a low energy field at all times, and it maintains this electromagnetic equilibrium. And if that is destroyed for some reason or some way, like if you just have a explosive decompression or something and you lose that shielding, everyone in the ship could just die from radiation. So that seems important to note. And that's unusual here. That's if you're close to Bowman Prime. Then you have further out what's called the mixed zone. It's mixed with stuff in the C zone, which is carbonaceous asteroids, which are gas and collections of things and water, and people will collect water and hydrogen, which is of much lesser value, but there's a lot more of it. Anyways, that's what's going on in the solar system, just in case anything comes up and you're able to use that information. You make it to the nav buoy, and you find it. I assume you have your sensors on, you're trying to find once you get there. As soon as you arrive, it provides a faint one-way signal on a specific channel that you're given. Now, you were already given this information. And yeah, it basically is kind of like a handshake, like, send me this code that you have. That's the signal that you get from the buoy.
All right, we didn't come here for nothing.
I assume that we got some kind of password from Bjorgulfsson, something that we can punch in there.
Yeah. Okay. I assume that would be, this actually could be Books or Marcello. I guess it'd be Books, though, in this case, right? You're the signals officer, right?
Yeah, I
All
could
right.
do that.
Okay. So you send this code to the buoy, and it takes about 3 minutes, and you receive a protected packet of information back. And you get some information as soon as you receive this signal. It comes through on like a secure like a channel, and you can tell that like two things right away. This is digital. If you tamper with it, it indicates that you'll lose it or it'll be destroyed. Additionally, if the pressure sensors of the ship detect a change in pressure status, it will also be destroyed. It is only useful once it comes into contact with a specific signal, and it provides you coordinates, a 3D coordinate. And the pressure, what I mean when I say a change in pressure, is your ship can detect, like if the cargo bay opens, right?
Right.
Or if there's a change in air. Essentially, if anything comes in or out of the ship, or anything tries to at any point, or if the ship blows up. If any of that happens at all, this will destroy itself. And anyways, as soon as you receive that digital packet, the buoy explodes.
All right.
And this coordinate is, let me make sure I have this right. 81 hours away.
81 hours.
hours. But we have the coordinates though, so we don't need anything else from the exploding buoy or
That's right.
this area. Okay. Well, guess we have a long trip on our hands.
3 days. I think we could probably watch through the Lord of the Rings extended movies once or so. Anybody's up for like a crew viewing party?
Let's see, a 9. Oh boy. As at the end of day 1, whoever is on third watch, you get a hail. Who would be on comms and on the bridge at that time? It'd be whoever's like up late, if you will.
I could do it.
All right, Books, you get a hail from another ship.
What do they say? Like, do they say something, or is it just like a electronic thing?
It's a hey, we're sending you a message. Please respond. That's
Okay, so I would go over to the comms, and I would say, "Who's this?"
this ship hails you. You received that message, and this ship is about 450,000 kilometers from you. It let's see, 450,000 kilometers. You suspect that at 450,000 kilometers, you would have about a 2.5 minute delay. That's me fudging it. Let's see. And what did you say you do? Sorry about that. I just wanted to give that information.
I would basically ask them who they are without giving our call sign or giving any information yet. So I would just try to see what information I could get, like why are they bothering us? So I would kind of, in a gruff manner, say, "Who's this?" Something like that.
Okay, they say it takes another 2.5 minutes, so 5 minutes pass, and they are closer. You can tell at this point they are about maybe 300,000, 200,000 kilometers, and they say, "This is the IISS siren. Please ident." They want you to send your transponder information.
So at this point, I would send a message out to the crew, especially the captain, just letting him know that there's a situation and to wake up and
Yeah.
come to the comms deck.
IISS, we want to be on their good side. We're on their good side. We want to stay on their good side. So,
Yeah, so I would, in that case, I would get back on the comms and I would say, "This is the Lady of Mercia. How could we help you?"
Okay. It takes that takes about 2.5 minutes. You get a message back, so it all takes about 5 minutes. And so now it's been about 10 minutes, and they say, and they are closer. They are probably 200,000 kilometers, and they say, Lady of Mercia, we are doing a standard combat patrol. There's the Bowman system is a haven for pirates and criminals. Be careful out here. We need you to match V, and we have a sensor suite, and we need you to send all of your information from your flight plan over to us. A sensor suite specifically for criminal warrants and for illicit cargo and things like that.
Have we ever been through one of these before? Does this all seem totally normal?
This does seem normal. This is something that could totally happen if you encounter, and they're clearly a scout vessel that's armed. They have like one pulse laser, and they are scanning ships and contacting them, and you could probably do with a lot more of that out here. But
can I ask, do we have a contract from the scout boss?
yeah, absolutely.
This is
Okay, well, let's ask him. Let's agree to the match V and everything, but let's ask him for a face-to-face meeting and just maybe explain who we are and the fact that we're working for Anders. Is it Anders?
Okay.
Was his name?
So
Was that his name?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Andrews Kasari.
Anders Kasari. Because I actually don't see a reason to hold back what we're actually doing here. They're not part of the Navy. Like, the Scout Service is its own thing, so it's...
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you all think? I'm sort of leaning towards being overly, sharing a little more than we might need to with these guys. And maybe, let them know we're not actually comfortable with telling you exactly where we're going because we've got some unsavory allies and we're trying to do some work out here. But what do y'all think? I might be off base there.
I can withhold that last part until they ask us about it specifically.
Well, the thing is,
That's
they're asking
what I was gonna say.
Yeah, but they're asking about our flight plan, and our flight plan is about to lead us to what is probably an illegal chop shop. They just warned us about criminals. We're about to go meet some criminals.
Oh, that's terrible. We'll keep an eye out for them.
Right, but they want us to share our flight plan.
Yeah, we will.
But
I would agree with your
why
plan.
are we going there? And what the only thing out there is a nest of scum and villainy. Why are you going there?
Yeah, no.
Because
How
we're
fast can we
Bowman.
generate a new flight plan?
Chris has a good point. Basically, if you share your information, they'll know exactly where this hidden sword world or chop shop is, and they'll know you're going there. Yeah.
And even if
Can
they
we
don't,
say
even
it's
if they
for another
don't know
reason?
that it's there, we'll be telling them where it is, so that which Bjorgolfsson will not appreciate if all of a sudden a scout, somebody starts showing up.
What if we say we're going there for like a super boring reason? Like, I don't know, like we're gonna do like a bunch of humanitarian work, and like not that that's boring in real life or anything, but in the scope of this, like we're gonna do something like that, like but something really, really just arduous and like I don't know, just annoying, and then maybe ask them if they want to join
Wait,
us.
can we say that we're surveying for there's an asteroid cluster here, right? We can say we're on a survey mission for I don't know, McClellan or something. They think there's a war out here. We're running a survey.
And we are still technically. Oh no, we don't get paid for that anymore. He has no money for us to do system
Well,
surveys, right?
it might be convenient to pretend he still does. But yeah, we shouldn't actually do work we're not getting paid for.
Anyway, we're gonna have to just be prepared to improvise, I guess. But we're gonna have to think on our feet. But anyway, we can agree to match velocity and everything. But can we ask? I think we should still. I'd like to ask for like a face-to-face with the captain.
Okay, so let me make sure I understand what's on the table. You all are what is it you're proposing?
And mainly, I want a face-to-face with the captain.
Ah, okay. So
but otherwise comply with everything they've asked.
send the flight plan. Send the location of
No. I I don't want to do that sight unseen.
Not that part? Okay.
No, because then we'll be betraying Bjorgulfsson.
Well, what about what Shipley proposed, where you like come up with a new flight plan right now and delay them long enough to generate one?
Or make one that's like 100,000 kilometers off where we're actually going, and tell the Shipley story.
What was your suggestion again, Shipley? Just to make sure I understood it.
That we have been hired by some mining company to run a survey on an asteroid cluster in the direction we're already headed, and then generate, if we can, a different flight plan that leads us, in the same direction, so it looks like we could have been following it, but that doesn't lead to the pirate base. Like maybe we change directions a little further on or something.
Okay, I'll say that you can do that. It's just going to take one round before you have that information. So you'd have to send a message and delay them for some reason.
Well, there's already a delay of a couple minutes going back and forth between the messages.
Yeah, you would have to. So they've said, hey, send us your info, and you'll be like, I am not going to send you the info. And then after another round, okay, here's the info.
They wanted to match V with us first, right? Before the info dump happens.
Mm-hmm.
So we can, they're still, we can say, yes, sounds good. And then like when they ask, where's the info? It's like, oh yeah, we wanted to match V first.
Okay. All right. What do you think about that, Books? You're the comms person, so.
Can you sell that?
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. Throw me your pitch. What do you say in the message?
So I'm basically going to say that we want a face-to-face meeting, and like we'll discuss that more face-to-face. About like we're not going to give the exact flight plan. Is that correct?
No.
Is that what is it?
I think we just decided against that. We're gonna send them. We're gonna say yes. We're matching V now, collating that data for you or something like that.
We're gonna buy ourselves a few minutes to cook up a fake flight plan.
Yeah, we're not gonna ask for the face-to-face, I guess.
Oh, okay. So we're not going to do the face-to-face. Okay, I thought we were just changing the.
Well, if Shipley's plan works, we shouldn't need to. If they question us later, we can say, hey, would you mind having a face-to-face? But maybe we'll just eat it until then.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I would tell them that we're matching, matching the V, and then I guess just try to stall them a little bit. Right? Is that the idea? So we could contort a fake flight plan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're working with this old computer. Take a little while.
Okay.
all
All
right.
right. So should I say what I would actually say? Are you ready for that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. We're matching speed now, and you'll have to bear with us. These systems, they don't always run like they should. So I'll get that
Well,
right over.
you know that the engines are kind of like on the fritz. You know
Yeah, we
that,
got to
right?
constantly reroute our power between systems. Try to say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a mess. It's a mess.
All right.
In fact,
We had a reactor leak here now.
you should ask them to refer us to a good garage.
5 minutes pass, and you get a message back, and they say, "All right, Lady of Mercia, we're coming abeam." And by this point, they're like 100,000 kilometers, and they say, "Hey, we need you to comply immediately. This is Imperial law. Please send us the information promptly."
Is it ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know. Has this been enough time?
Yeah. Within 6 minutes, you'll have the flight plan. So you need to delay like 1 more minute, I guess.
You take the
Okay, I give
existing
you a
flight
quick
plan,
sign,
you
like
add like
5 minutes.
5 zeros at the end.
My question is, do you also want to try to head toward what you think is an asteroid cluster?
I was hoping she would, or he would pick a good one. Can't we see that on our scanners?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can. Now, I should clarify, I guess. Whole clusters and giant planetoids. So there's Delta, you can see there, Gamma. Those are like planetoids and moons and stuff, or planetoids really, big asteroids. So essentially you could go toward Zeta, Delta, Gamma, and currently Delta is right here on its orbital path. Gamma's on the opposite side though. Beta's right there. And Zeta is over here. So I guess Delta is on your current path. And slightly off. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
There we go.
Yeah, I could hear you.
All right. So yeah, yes, Shipley, you can create a flight plan. Where do you think you want to go?
Well, okay, so we're heading towards Zeta, right? But the orbit of Epsilon is between us and them. Can our new trajectory be toward Epsilon? Or do I have those mixed up?
Yeah, no, Epsilon is, actually you were recently there, close to it anyways. Delta is here. Sorry, I guess I didn't ping it. It's probably just like there.
We need
My bad.
more than just the
I'm
orbits.
sorry.
We need the current
I'm sorry.
location.
I
of these
did.
places.
I think I did the thing where I was like pointing. I was like, it's right there, like y'all could see it or something. I'm such a dummy. Sorry. Anyways, I supposed to Delta. So like you all are headed, like here, okay, and
Okay.
Delta is currently here. All of the other larger planetoids are probably off your path. You'd be turning around and going the other direction, or you'd be heading towards Bowman Prime. Sorry.
Yeah, so you just
Okay.
pick the closest cluster to.
Yeah.
Like Delta's the obvious choice.
Okay. All right. So, and then books. So, some additional time passes. Let's see. That's 6 minutes. And then do you just send them the information then? Toward the
Yeah,
okay.
if we have if we have it, yeah, I would send it over to him.
All
I
right.
just Yeah, same. On its way.
So two things happen. They request like all of your transponder information. Okay, who's the Lady of Mercia, your flight plan, stuff like that, and so you send that over. And at this point, you all have waited like around. Okay, so 2 minutes later, it's been 20-something minutes now. You get another message, and they're like, "Lady of Mercia, comply immediately, or we'll be required to board you." And then, like, 2.5 minutes after that, because they get the message like 2 minutes later. So 2.5 minutes later, you get another message that says, "Disregard." We had, I think you were at Flammarion? Yeah, you were at Flammarion when all that went down, I think. I had friends on that ship. We'd like to escort you to your asteroid. We can go a little bit out of our way, if that helps.
Time to go do some scanning.
They're trying to be like, they're like thankful.
Nice. Oh.
You know what?
That's just great.
Tell them it was all in a day's work. We respect the mission of the patrol, and we want them to go and keep on about their business. We don't want any special treatment.
All right, what do you all think about that? Yeah, go ahead.
I like that idea.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea.
All right. So you send that message back, and then they just send you an acknowledgement, and they send you some info, and they give you the locations of where they have heard that there is potential pirate activity. And
There's one location familiar.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't imagine why.
Well, maybe books. Ask them if they know if there any any job opportunities popped up in Bowman recently, or is there gonna be overlap between those and the pirate stations?
They tell you, hey, if you stop by, if you come by, what they call Alpha Garrison. If you come to Bowman Alpha, to Alpha Garrison, we will absolutely try to find some jobs for you. I don't know if it's something that would be useful for the Lady of Mercia. We don't have a lot of cargo, but we've got a small squadron here, and we will work with you for what you've done for us. And the other thing that they give you is the locations of where they have heard from some ships they've captured of high value asteroids or claims. These are ships that were impounded, so they were never able to turn in their claims.
That's going to be us in a couple of weeks if we're not careful.
So I assume you continue on this path for a while. Otherwise, they're just going to see you, at least for 600,000 kilometers or so.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And
I mean, yeah, we should wait until they're completely out of what we know. Let's be careful, right? Let's calculate their trajectory, their speed, and wait until we know we're out of their sensor range before, as opposed to them being out of ours, or make our best guess.
Let's just check out this little asteroid cluster. Why not? Maybe it's pretty.
You can do that if you want. You could head towards Delta.
Really sell this bluff.
Do you all want to try to do that? That will take you another 24 hours.
No, I don't. I'd rather. Every day.
DVDs,
Yeah, I think, by the way, technically, you are now skipping. Unless you spend all of your funds. I don't even think you have enough funds. Maybe.
I think we do, but...
Essentially, you would just blow all your funds, almost.
No, I don't think we do, now that I'm looking at them. No.
Yeah, because you would have to have twice the number of players, almost. You're like 2/3 of the way there, I think. And that's if you spend all your money. Now, this wouldn't happen. This doesn't matter until you make it to a starport anyways. It's not some kind of weird wireless thing or something. You get to a starport, and then in good faith, after the money's due, you send out the payment. But so far, it's looking like you're going to land, and you're going to start skipping. So anyways, so you're just going to try to exercise prudence, but otherwise you're going to try to get on the original flight path? Okay. Okay, so this takes into the second day. And you encounter nothing. You make it back onto your original flight path about a half a day later. And so now it's going to take 3.5 days. This is the third day. And you encounter another ship.
Oh.
And it sends you a message like, hello there, and asking to speak. Sends you like a secure message, like a hail, you know.
Oh boy. I guess.
I hope it's not pirates.
I hope it is.
Why?
Because if it is, we're close enough to where our friends are at that it might be our friends.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I think
Yeah.
I would say, greetings. Please identify yourself.
They say, this is the rascal. Whom are we speaking? They're a 200-ton free trader.
And I look at the captain, the rest of the crew. How do you guys want to play this?
Friendly asteroid scanning ship, I guess. We'll stick with that story.
I mean, you could always have fun
Know
with
who
it,
we are.
since that seems to be the tradition between travelers is trolling each other.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to pretend this to be pirates like this happened to us before, but I don't know. Just be like, thank you, caller. You're on the air.
Pizza Hut.
Should we say the actual ship name, or should we make up something?
You would have to.
We're the rascal.
You would have to turn off your transponder in order to hide it.
Oh, okay, yeah. At this
Which you
point,
can
it's
do.
already.
I don't want to do that. I mean, that's just me. I don't know how you all feel about it, but
No, I agree. I don't want to do that.
We could just be asteroid scanners.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess I would say, well, hello. You're speaking to the Lady of Mercia, and we're out here just scanning some asteroids. Trying to make an honest day's work. What brings you out here?
Oh, how about that? This takes about 12 minutes or whatever. We're claim hunters too. We got our oh god, what's it called? They use usually what they do is they work in teams. So they call it a seeker, a J scout. They say we got our J scout out here for our little concern. Kind of surprised to see somebody else out prospecting Delta. Hey, we got our lead. You got yours. Best of luck out there finding your load.
You see any cool rocks lately?
Yeah,
How do you do, fellow asteroid scanners?
you know we wouldn't tell you if we did. You know how it goes.
Those rascals.
Hey, listen. The rascal. Hey, listen. Be careful out here in Delta. We've seen a couple of sword worlders.
Oh no.
Tell him we
Oh
said hi.
no!
Oh boy, yeah. Appreciate the heads up.
All
You be
right.
safe out there.
Yeah, you too. All right. This is the third day, and you enter. All right. You encounter nothing on the third day, and by day 3.5, you reach your intended 3D coordinates. There are space is vast, and so you will not see anything unless you try to either scan it or you can try to transmit this in a non-directional or omnidirectional signal and try to find it that way. You either need to announce yourself actively or you need to try to scan, use your sensors. But your sensors on your free trader are not great. They are small for this type of thing.
Let's move as close as we can.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's probably better to move close and try to scan than to just announce on a broadband ping.
Okay, you do that. And then you get hailed by another ship.
Oh boy.
Putting you to work today, buddy.
This ship is about 11 o'clock from your position on a similar plane, similar to the orbital plane of Delta, and it is its vector indicates that it's coming towards you, and yeah, and it hails you, but it is 500,000 kilometers away.
Okay. So I think I would stick with my normal script and just say greetings friend. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking to?
You send that back, and all of a sudden, a couple of things happen next. You get a weapons lock on. You can tell pulse lasers.
Oh, that's our friends, all right.
And you hear something in Old Norse, or a reconstruction thereof thousands of years from now. Does anybody speak Old Norse? No one here got that language. I don't think anybody. Probably Book speaks it. We just say Book speaks it. He's got an intelligence of 12. You automatically speak everything.
Then I also speak it.
You have an intelligence of 12?
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Yeah, you guys got like eidetic memories and speak 12 languages and everything. Okay, so yeah, you both understand this. It basically says, I hope that you are ready to die.
That's what they say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Nice.
that it just, you've announced yourself and entered their space and they're ready to fight.
All right.
Could you tell him Bjorgulfsson's expecting us?
We're like good warriors. We're always ready to die, but you better be ready for the vengeance wrought on you by our friend Bjorgulfsson.
Yeah. Go ahead, Books. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, should we actually mention Bargolson? You guys think?
Yeah, I think it's the only thing that's saving us from death.
Yeah. No, I agree. I just wanted to make sure. So I would say ready, but not willing. And I don't think Bergelson would be very happy if that happened. So why don't you take it down a notch?
Okay, two things happen about 6 minutes later. The lock goes away, and then about 30 seconds after that, you get a message, and it says, Bjorgulfsson's an idiot. But he still works here, so follow us, and match V. And they start heading towards you. That's what initially happens.
Well, keep auto evade in, but otherwise we might as well go with them. That's why we're here.
Okay. They get close enough. They get to about 100,000 kilometers. This takes, I don't know, 10, 20 minutes or something, and then match V, and they lead you up to a place, and then you get another message from a station, and this is an asteroid. It gives you instructions to land.
Excellent.
It looks like this asteroid. I can't remember the term. On a solar system level, it always faces the sun. So you come in with it facing the sun, and you dock. The dock here is everything on the hangar bay is in 0G, no gravimetrics, and no air. And then they have the airlocks right after that. So you actually, if you're going to exit your ship, you actually have to go in your back suits.
Is there any danger of radiation exposure here?
Not this far out. Bowman Prime, if you were there, that would be a major hazard. It would be completely unsafe to do that.
All right, great.
Let's see here. So you exit the ship.
Let's make sure we got our contract and our card and all of our good stuff.
You see a bunch of people. You see like some heavy weapon emplacements, similar really to what you had jury rigged in your own cargo bay, and kind of pointing out in case anything, like there were landing craft or anything, if they had tried to board the station. And you see guards in vac suits, and the vac suits are all patchwork and covered in tactical gear and modules and stuff like that, and they've got laser weapons. You eventually enter through pressurization, through a pressurization chamber, and you see not Bjorgulfsson, but Borvi comes out to greet you, and in a very articulate Anglic, he says, our old friends, it's good to see you again. I suppose you know that if you ever speak of this location, they will hunt you down and kill you.
Well, we've been successful so far.
Very well. Well, we'll get right to work. We have the pulse laser. The Voden's Eye is not here. Neither is Captain Bjorgulfsson. But it, I think, will take us 2 standard weeks to get the pulse laser attached to your ship and tested.
And
Standard weeks.
is Bjorgulfsson due back soon?
I'm afraid not. I could. They're doing a nearly suicidal attack on frankly, Imperial facility, if you, a scout listing post, if you would like to join them. And I would emphasize suicidal, but that is an option. We do have weapons and gear if you'd like to join them.
That would feel wrong somehow.
Yeah, not until we have the gun installed.
Wait, what'd you say, Shipley?
I said not until at least we have the gun installed.
He smiles. He says, alternately, we can get you a taxi. Panache, we can fly you out to Königsrock.
What's at Koenig's Rock?
A whole bunch of desperate, starving belters that are scrambling over each other for the next claim, and one greedy mega corporation that's trying to take it all for themselves in a war that's about to break out between the two.
Oh, good. Is it McClellan?
LSP is the name of the company, I believe.
Okay.
Sounds delightful.
Are they rivals with McClellan?
Probably so. I don't really know. I'm afraid that I'm not familiar with those kind of politics. It seems as if they must have edged out other companies in competition in this system. Everything in this system is LSP this, LSP that. It's possible they have some sort of agreement with the Sector Duke or something, but those are all Imperial things. Perhaps it would be useful for me to know this, but I'm afraid I can't help there.
Well, friends, we ain't got a ship for 2 weeks. We can hang around here twiddling our thumbs, or maybe see if we can scare up a job for ourselves out there.
I like that idea. Let's do it.
All right, so how much does the taxi cost, and when is it coming? How often does it make that round?
We can get you out of here in 2 hours.
No,
So-
I mean, if we needed to get back here, how would we do that?
That's another thing. We'll give you some rendezvous instructions and some challenge and response that you would give the pilot. It would happen probably once every day or two.
And there's pilots that do this kind of thing regularly, I guess.
Yes. The company's name is Ling Standard Products, LIC. Looks like they are... some sort of mega corporation in the Imperium. As far as I can tell, they usually specialize in manufacturing, drive systems, work at shipyards. I don't know what they're doing out in an asteroid belt, but they have a bunch of mining platforms they operate out here.
Maybe they want to build a new shipyard here.
Possibly.
Well, I guess we'll take the taxi, unless there's anything else you suggest us to do around here that could make us a few credits. Because I gotta tell you, my friend, we're behind on our payment coming out here.
Well, I'm not sure if we can help with that, but I do know one person you could contact. We could send a friendly word with you. I'll warn you, this should come as no surprise, but we're not friendly with the Imperials, or with the companies that are their dogs. But some of the local independents favor us, probably for that reason. And we do have one former Imperial citizen who owns a smaller outfit here, a R. Gazriatus. If you're interested in work, you could contact him, and we could send a message with you.
And
He's in Koenig's Rock.
I mean, we might as well. Can't promise we'll necessarily look him up, as you understand. We don't mind being Imperial dogs ourselves from time to time, as I'm sure you know.
None of my business.
I want to
Yet.
ask real quick. Borvai, he's not a like natively a sword wielder, right? Like he was like converted into it because he was like their technician beforehand.
He is in the Sword Worlds Confederation, but he was not an Astara what do you call it? He wasn't one of the religious
Asatru.
Asatru. Thank you.
Right.
Yes, and now he is. He converted to that, and he's like a true believer now.
I wonder about that career path. Maybe, like, how viable is that?
It's totally
Sounds kinda
viable if you want.
liberating.
Yeah, if you guys want to be space Vikings now, they do some pretty gross stuff. So I mean, but they just do the murdering. I mean, I'll just say it. Like they they do some murdering. So, but
They pull a
There's a
number
dabbled
six.
in a little bit of murdering.
They
yeah.
pull a number 6 on him.
So, yeah, you guys can let me know if you want to become space Vikings. That's totally Pirates of Drenex campaign now.
We've got a strange inn, but I'm not necessarily in favor of that. I'd like to be able to defend ourselves. It's better to make friends. It's nice to make friends with them, which I guess we did at least with one guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we'll agree to take that contact, but we'll just. I'm also interested in trying to talk to LSP, and just see what's going on at Koenig's Rock.
All right. I suppose big options here first, and then I want to hear from everybody. One option is you could just wait. You could literally just wait here for 2 weeks. The other option is they'll take you to Koenig's Rock. A third option is they're like, yeah, you could just join us and you can join the fight right now if you want. Books, what do you think?
I think we should just either wait or go to Koenig's Rock now. If I had to pick one, I would say go to Koenig's Rock.
All right, Shipley?
I'm for Koenig's Rock. We're broke. We need some money.
All right, Marcello?
I mean, I guess Koenig's Rock is where we can possibly find work, but how much can we do in 2 weeks? That's my question.
Yeah, I'm actually rethinking my Koenig's Rock opinion. I'm thinking of it in terms of the game itself.
I bet
Because
2 weeks is enough time to drum up a revolution uprising among the Belters.
see, that's the thing, right? But
We're gonna speed run a little uprising among the worker class.
see. I'm thinking about our future, both as a role playing group and as a ship's crew. If we stick around and cause all kinds of trouble for one faction or another here, before we even have our gun, and before we have to go to Squalia, where we could get work in Squalia that would end us up in the Bowman Arm again, trying to do something for the dude in Squalia while we investigate that situation. I feel like we could be creating a bad bed for ourselves to lie in if we... That's one element, and the other element is there's part of me that kind of wants to get on to the stuff that we've already got stacked up to do, and even if that means skipping for longer, I kind of, as a player, would like to get to that stuff. So that's my take on it for now. Because this 2-week jaunt to Koenig's Rock could end up being like 2 months of sessions if it turns into like an event, which is not a bad thing. It's fun, but it's like the walking into an inn and putting your blinders on problem in D&D, and it's just like nope, don't talk to anybody. I don't want to know. So anyway, that's all. I won't press it too hard, but I'm kind of waffling on Koenig's Rock.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of game terms, it is a matter of like you could start an adventure and that might last 3 sessions. Because if you remember Rally, the thing about Rally is time didn't actually pass. Game time passed, like our time passed, but in Rally you were only there like 48 hours or something. And so that could happen. You could get involved in something and it could take time. But I mean, that's also what we're here to do, is to just like travel through space. And
it's going to be fun no matter what. And we're going to be screwed no matter what. No matter which choice we take.
Now Chapman has already declared that he wants to be a space Viking, so.
I did not. I'm not that resolved on it. I'm fine going to Koenig's Rock and being judicious in what we choose to engage in.
All right, sounds like we're going to go there, but then probably exercise some, caution and see from there, Okay. So, the taxi's available in about an hour, and it takes you to Koenig's Rock. You get instructions.
Can we stipulate that we're carrying all useful gear? Like, do we need to... Because we're going to be gone from our ship for a while. Like, we need to make sure we got what we need with us.
Right, all the frozen chicken nuggets.
Definitely all remaining 8 canisters of the gork rinds.
Yeah, if any of you
Lady,
get on the
right?
shuttle. Yeah, I was going to mention Lady asked for some. I forgot to mention that.
Wait, she needs her back suit because the radiation will kill her.
Bjorvi's probably a good dog man, right? He can take care of Lady for us, maybe.
Borvi will agree to take care of the dog if you wish. It's up to you. I forgot to mention that Lady absolutely sniffs your hands and your suit and stuff when you come in after you've popped open the canister and wants food. But anyways, if anyone gets on the taxi and doesn't have their armor and weapons, any Borvi will immediately be like, "You are a fool if you go to Koenig's Rock and aren't armed." I will warn you of that. And also, if you do want to meet Mr. Gazriatis, you will have the rendezvous set up for you at a place called the Rock Rats Bar.
That sounds promising.
We'll either get information, or we'll get in a gunfight.
Yep.
Or we'll lose a lot of money in gambling.
All right. So,
or all of the above.
Wow.
This is actually a city crawl. I have a whole city map of a giant asteroid that you can explore.
Ooh.
So,
Cool.
you enter from the port hangar into the entrance lock, and you come through a board-looking and basic customs. Now, these customs, they really don't care, okay? And like you don't see like a scanner or anything. There's just a couple of guards, and it looks like they're here to just maintain some semblance of order. And they really don't even seem to be checking anything. Everybody just kind of walks back and forth from the entrance lock to their ships and stuff. And people doing cargo, and it basically does not seem like a customs. However, there is a sign, and it's like LSP, your friend in space, or something really cheesy. That's just something really, really saccharine and awful. But then it's like security insurance plan available now for. Let's see how much security insurance plan is. I have to go back here. But you don't have a ship here anyways currently, but it's 500 credits per week. And you see that there are people signing up for this. And LSP mercs are actually a bunch of low-paid guards are actually in vac suits guarding ships. And you also see...
Yeah, we don't need this stuff.
Yeah, you see a bunch of... let's see... A hotel. First of all, you see some residences that are stacked on each other. Some of them are carved out from the rock, and then a bunch of stuff is added onto it. And they're just kind of ramshackle and stacked on top of each other. There are port offices, including the Starport Authority, where you would file flight plans and stuff. There's a bunch of other admin offices here, and the office that manages the warehousing. And then there's an area ahead that continues in the rocks, and it's just like this place is a maze. You can see ahead that's just like honeycombs into a maze of just different pathways, and there's even like little scooter air car type things, and people are doing deliveries, and it's just chaos. All kinds of businesses being had. So, going around the table, Klaus, what do you think you ought to do?
Well, this rendezvous, what hours of the station time is this guy supposed to be occupying it compared to what time it is?
You would need to go to a bar in a place called the Strip, and it is in like 2 hours is when this rendezvous would happen.
Yeah, my opinion is we should probably just head straight there and scope out the scene on our way. Get a sense. I'd like to get a sense for the presence of LSP. You know, I want to see how pervasive they are here. Like, is the place? I mean, you say it's apparently very low security, but they might have their own security, their own little warehouses and stuff like that. I'm just looking to see the offices.
Yeah, totally. You make a little circuit here just in the warehousing. Make an admin check. You make that check. I'm gonna keep going. Books. Is there anything as you come in that you want to look for? Anything you want to do? Where do you think you should go next?
Excuse me. Sorry. I think Books would like to. I think Books wants to see the local cuisine.
Okay. That would be in the Strip. There are no restaurants here. Let me see what
No restaurants. Okay.
With my admin skill, I think that becomes an 8.
An 8. Okay. You can tell that LSP is kind of like the. What do you call it? What did they used to call those places where like a factory town where basically the
company store.
The company, yeah. So like there's LSP, which is this giant organism, and then there's all sorts of little factions even within LSP. So there's like LSP security and LSP hydroponics, and they're providing a bunch of different services. And then some of it is independent, or some of it presents itself as some kind of authority. You can see that there really is no authority. There's essentially two things going on. You got all the people here, and then you've got LSP, and then LSP has lots of little operations. And you can even get a sense sometimes that even those operations within LSP, you get some sense that they don't always get along, and that there's some competition. So as you pass here, just to answer to the Books thing, this path here, you can see in the rock, you can hear a humming noise. And this long line of stuff here are hydroponics vats where they're growing food. This is a lift. This is like a whole mega city inside of an asteroid. So I'll describe some of the stuff you can see here, and it'll answer Books' question. This has a sign that says the Koenig's Merchant Association. This says bar and casino. In fact, this one right here is the Rock Rats bar. So, and then you've got a pawn shop, and then you got like a bunch of businesses that have sprouted around the side of the pawn shop, and some of them are closed. Like you got like a same-day loan service, and like a laundromat. And,
I have a question.
And there's more bars and casinos around here, and then there's like junk stores. Okay, so that's what you're seeing on the Strip. Go ahead.
Can I make a streetwise roll and combine it with?
Let me give everybody else a chance first. Let me go around the table and see what everybody else wants to do. So, Chapman, is there anything you want to look at when you first come on the station? Anything you're looking for? Yeah.
Firstly, I have a medium range communicator. Would that be good enough for us to keep in contact with each other if we split up?
You can, absolutely.
Okay. I'm hitting up the pawn shop.
Remind me of that. I think we're going to run out of time, but remind me of the. Yes. Absolutely. Write that down. Okay. And then what about, let's see, Marcello? And you guys could.
Marcello.
Oh, go ahead.
Marcello has kind of really had it with being on a ship for so many days. Just really wants to check into our LSP hotel, go down to the LSP lounge, and get LSP bourbon.
Okay. You're gonna go
maybe
to the hotel.
Take a shower.
And the hotel is owned by. Now, do you guys want to stay at the hotel, or do you want to stay somewhere else? It is owned by
what are
LSP.
our options?
Oh, sure. Let's see
Sleeping
here.
out on the streets?
Store. This is awesome. It's like a junk town. I have like 200 or 300 different locations in this asteroid. Tons of bars, tons of restaurants, different shops, a whole bunch of weird stuff. You got a pet store.
Oh, we can stock up on dog food.
Places to buy weird gadgets and like equipment for weird things, and gadgets for mining. So I've checked, and I can say that is actually the only hotel.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So there you go. Okay, so you are staying at the LSP hotel. It's called something else. I don't know what it's called off the top of my head, but it is exactly as you described. Okay, so you check in the hotel and you do that. Shipley, what are you doing?
I want to look around and see if there's any other travelers about. We know there's at least some of them doing scouting, but I want to see if there's anyone, I don't know, if there are any travelers, and if there are, maybe I can strike up a conversation and get some rumors or something.
Okay. Let's see here. So you look around the bars. Travelers are always, that's where you go. That's where you talk traveling. And there's good news and bad news about this. Some of these places, you look in and the bars are kind of tight, as is necessary on an asteroid settlement like this. And these people are armed. It's obvious to you that some of these bars are specifically for hiring mercenaries and hired guns and stuff. There's an entire business about shooting people around here. And some of them, you don't really find a bar specifically for travelers. You do find a cargo broker who, the broker specifically works with travelers. And the reason for this is that when you look in the bars here, there's a bar called Gunny's, which does kind of bill itself as like a, macho kind of like, yeah, we are like mercs, and that's exactly what we do here. And then, and there's a place called Binagers, the Burroughs Bureau, and those are a bunch of local workers. And anyways, probably the closest thing to a traveler's bar would be Koenig's Landing. This takes you several hours to find this place, though, and ask around. So I will actually probably do that next time. I'm going to make a... Would anyone go with Shipley to Koenig's Landing?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. This happens the next day, which we'll get to the next session. Yeah, this don't let me forget. It's called it's called Koenig's Landing, and it is in the Undertown, and yeah, it's a place a little more friendly to outsiders. So, all right, let's see, Shipley, and then Klaus.
Well, all I wanted to do was, as I'm walking around and looking, and then as I'm walking around with Shipley, I want to be getting a sense of the organization of this of whatever the underworld is. And when I said combine a streetwise with admin, I wanted to see, you know, if I could discern how much of a piece LSP has of that action.
Yeah, I agree with that. I may ask for some clarification, but you can go ahead and make that roll as you walk around before you stop at the hotel tonight.
That'll be a 6 overall.
5, 6, yeah. I will tell you what you can tell. I suppose this is a restatement of what I've already said, though.
Okay.
It's clear that, like, there's this corporation that offers a lot of these little services and products and things, and they also exercise a lot of control. And there is the locals both purchase those products, exist in that corporate ecosystem, and there is this huge sense of resentment. Like there is like a conflict brewing between them. So those are two things that you see going on. So next session, well, Marcello, before we go, so you're totally going to set in for the hotel, but what's something that you want to do next session? I want to hear from Marcello and Books, just in case you want to do something crazy like go to the pet store or buy something weird. I don't know. You know, just in case you want to do anything, I want to make sure there's a vac suit store. Weird food market. Attorney and judge.
I'm going to the weird food market for sure.
Okay. You guys remind me of that stuff next time. And then Books, what do you want to do?
I'll do the vac suit store.
Okay. Right on. All right. So
I just want one item of clarification. You said that this is going to happen next day in terms of our visit to the Koenig's Landing.
Yeah, and so I think I know what you're going to ask. Probably what we should do at the beginning of the next session is, if you are interested in the job, you should talk to the guy now. You should go to the bar.
Yeah, that was going to be what I asked. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where we'll start next time. Mythic Traveler is a Space Western Merchant Classic Traveler campaign in the Mythic Mountains RPG Play Club. The music's by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech and Greg Gibson with Timberzeel. Classic Traveler is one of the first tabletop role-playing games, and the first sprawling space simulator game ever created by Mark Miller and Games Designer Workshop. You can find the free facsimile rules of Classic Traveler by Far Future Enterprises in the description. Mythic Mountains RPG is an online play club that focuses on folk RPGs. Those are the RPGs that aren't run or controlled by some huge corporation, and they don't have some set way to play, and ain't nobody can tell you how you can play them. We play them however is the right way, and that's the way we want to do it. The table is the authority. We upload our games weekly on YouTube for everyone to enjoy and sit in without performances, fancy equipment, or monetization. It's just a group of people playing folk RPGs our way. You're welcome to join us, but until then, be safe out there between jumps.